welcome back to another art time lapse. Today I am doing a piece called Fill Your Cup. Have you ever heard the terminology fill your cup? I think it means replenishing those stores of mental, emotional, and physical energy. So how do you fill your cup? I know there's many ways to fill up that emotional cup, whether it's going for a walk, enjoying nature, maybe listening to your child laugh, or singing in the car, or just hanging out with friends for lunch. So there's many ways to fill a cup, our cup, but I don't know if we just make time for it because everybody is busy. And so I want to spend this piece thinking about what does it mean to keep your cup filled and what we can do to fill other people's cups. And if anything, I find that a lot of times we focus a lot on making sure everybody's happy, and I'm sure I don't know if it's just select people, but I know certainly many individuals who work hard to make sure those around them are happy and comfortable and satisfied, and sometimes we forget to fill our own cups. So that's what this piece is inspired by. So I'm gonna do a vegetation kind of greenery on the back with many people holding teacups, and there's going to be one little girl sitting at a picnic table and filling her own cups. So this piece, hopefully it's a reminder for you to remember to fill your own cup and not just others. So here you can see I'm gonna use a lot of different types of greens and mixing it with maybe some umber colors and blues and maybe dark purples to create different shades of green. And then I use white gouache to kind of lay out where all the hands and the teacups are going to be, and then I'm using this dark brown gouache to create outlines. I think this piece took a little bit longer than I thought it would take. Part of it is because I think when I was conceptualizing it, I really liked the idea of filling one's cup, but in terms of execution I wasn't sure how it should look. I chose to do a little bit more cartoonistic character rather than something a little bit more mature, sophisticated, something more realistic. I don't know if that was the best choice. I am interested on maybe doing a series or redoing the idea of filling one's cup. So here I'm just drawing the character holding a teapot about to fill her teacup. So I think there's many ways to refill our emotional cup, but we don't really think about it. I think a lot of times on a day-to-day basis we're just go. What do we have to do? Check off your list. You have to do your taxes, you have to pick up the kids, or you need to go to these activities. So it gets really busy to kind of do some emotional TLC, tender love and care for yourself. So I hope as you're watching this video, you're also considering how do you fill your cup, whether it is maybe enjoying a movie or some YouTube videos of a nice cup of tea, a coffee of your choosing, and whether you're doing this with your partner, by yourself, or maybe with your cat or your puppy. That could be the way that you keep your cup full. So here you can see I'm adding the brown outlines. I really love kind of dark browns more than I used to. I use it to do a lot of highlights and outlines, and compared to a pitch dark black. Not sure when I started veering towards this. Perhaps it was just out of necessity because I didn't have a black color, but I love how the brown color has this warmer tone to the piece. Rather than a black outline, makes it a little bit more interesting. I don't know. Maybe I should try out black just to see if I would like it. What do you guys do when you guys draw a piece? Do you usually use black as an outline color, or do you use other colors? I'm also thinking besides brown, maybe I can try a cobalt blue as an outline color, because that would definitely create a really cool color scheme that could be a clear style for an artist. On the topic of style, I feel an artist, I still struggle quite a bit with it, even though a lot of people look at my artwork and they're like, oh yeah, you clearly have a style. But for me, like I feel like I still struggle with it. Sometimes I get bored of coloring or drawing in certain styles, certain characters that like I really like to branch out. I'm sure it's like that for a lot of artists, that we struggle with our style because we like to experiment, we like to try different things, and we get bored easily. So in the end, I still think that I don't have a consistent style, but maybe it's like the way that I'm drawing different objects or different style of like people, but still use the same technique for my art. As you can see, like I love to do gouache artwork, but for my gouache, a lot of times I would water down my gouache quite a bit to a watercolor consistency before adding on subsequent layers that are very pigmented. Also, I like to do my outlines at the end instead of in the beginning. So I know a lot of artists like to do outline in the beginning and then they would color in afterwards. It kind of reminds me a little bit of like how to best describe this. Probably like when you're doing a coloring book, you would color within the lines. And I think maybe because my art technique is so loose, it's difficult to color within lines. So it's easier to draw the piece and then create an outline afterwards, which kind of speaks to kind of how I approach a lot of projects in general. I like to just kind of get started, especially when I'm really excited about a project, and then figure out the outline afterwards, which is not good for planning overall. I think it is very helpful to have a clear plan or like an abstract plan before diving right in. So it's a life lesson that I continue to try to execute and learn, not only within art, but like in all aspects of life. So here I'm thinking the piece looks a little bland on itself, so I'm adding on these brief leaves around the border of the piece. So I hope you're enjoying this art time lapse so far. The piece is slowly coming together. I'm just gonna add a pinch of color of yellow for the dotted daisies or flowers or buttercup, whatnot, that is along the reef of the leaves. I think there's just a lot of green in this piece, so it'll be really nice to add a little bit of color, splash of color. I was debating about oranges or reds or maybe blues, but at the end I thought yellow would look nice. So here is the finished piece. Fill your cup. And lots of people bringing their teacups over. Just don't forget to fill your cup while you are helping others fill theirs. Well, that's it for today's art time lapse. Thank you so much for joining me on this video, and I'll see you next time. Stay safe and stay creative, everyone. Bye for now.